Hey, John, what's going on, brother? Or yeah, John, what's happening, man? It is, man. I will say that. Speak over your food. Welcome everybody to the live, man. Tap that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the vibes. Let's get into it. You know, you know what I'm saying. I decided to have an everything bagel this morning with you all. It's not really this morning anymore. Well, it is. Yeah, it is. Taste, stay pink. What's good? How you doing? Welcome to the live, man. So listen, I think a very important message today. I think a very important message today is just, man, no matter what is happening, no matter what happens, we need to come together, man. We need to open our hearts and come together and unite as one, man. It, it's like all these things that are happening, like the sad thing that happened this past week. These things are catalysts for us to open our hearts and come together, man, and have compassion for each other. No, I'm not a smoker. Definitely not. We need to have compassion for each other. We need to accept where each other is and on their journey and where they're at the time that they're at, and just can we see each other through the lens of God, you know? And I know it's not easy, man, because trust me, people are getting triggered left and right by others. But can you still have compassion? Can you still open your heart? Can you still find it in your heart to, it's like I never understood why we have to get to the point where something tragic has to happen for us to feel compassion for someone. You could have the most hatred for someone, anger for someone, but then something tragic happens either to them or to your circle or to your surroundings, and or even to the world, like where it's something big that impacts the entire collective, and then like a storm or something catastrophic, and people lose maybe their things, and then people come together, then people help each other. Why does it take that for us to come together and help one another? Why can't we just do that regardless? Why does it take someone to pass away, someone to get hurt, or someone to have something, like I said, tragic happen in their life, for us to find it in our hearts to Whoa, the heck was that? Yeah, I agree, man. Scar, I agree. Because you know what? And I'm not going to do it on the camera, but when you point to your finger and your thumb is pointed up and you're pointing at someone else, you're actually pointing at yourself. And this is one of the things that I talk about all the time on this channel, all the time, that like what the hatred or the words you say to somebody else, you're actually saying to yourself. The things you're doing that you think you're doing to someone else, you're actually doing to yourself. The mind and body does not know the difference. So like when you curse somebody out for cutting you off, you're actually cursing yourself out. Yeah, and know this, man, with all the work that I've done with past life regressions, and I've done close to 50 past life regressions. I've read a lot of Dolores Cannon's work, and a lot of what is said, like Charlie. And I know this may be hard for some people to like grasp with their mind, but like Charlie, for example, contracted what he did, what happened, and the person that was involved, and him. And this maybe give you a different perspective. It may allow you to see things differently, that he chose for that to happen before he came here, to be a catalyst. It's the same as like Martin Luther King. We go back to Martin Luther King and these different big events that create a massive catalyst, a massive wake up call for humanity, is was chosen prior to the soul coming here to do, to be a part of. Again, it's hard to see that from a human perspective, and it's hard to see that from how raw it is and how soon it happened. But again, if you read a lot of Dolores Cannon's work, which she spent decades doing quantum healing hypnosis therapy, um, a lot of these big events were created to be a mass catalyst. you know it goes for like same thing like storms and things. Everything, man, is divinely timed and orchestrated, man. If we think that a lot of this stuff is based off free will, trust and believe it's not. Because if it was, the human race would be gone long ago. There's a lot more um input happening from the other side than we actually think. um and like I've talked about many times, the only main thing that we have like free will in is the resistance we put up to what the soul is leading us to. Well, there's a lot of things that you won't find in the words, in the Bible or biblically, or um um and I can tell you this, man, God is definitely stepping in. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Majority of us that are here are volunteers. We volunteered to come here to be a part of this, to assist. So God can use our vessel to work through, because we heard the call, and we heard the call that humanity and planet Earth needed help at this time. I knew that when I speak on certain things like this, I knew when I speak on certain things like this, it's going to trigger people's opinions. And hear me on this. This channel is about sharing respectfully. No matter what you believe, no matter what your opinion is, no matter how you feel, listen openly to what someone has to say, because you never know that there's a message in it for you. And to just have a respectful conversation, because you never know what you could learn from someone about something. And that's the one message that I always want to drive home on this channel, to be respectful to each other, you know? Yeah, that's beautiful, man, Scar. I'm going to read that out loud, Scar, because that's beautiful and it's true and it's 100% right. Because when you are happy and at peace, you're spreading that around the world. When you're not healing within yourself and you're angry and pissed off, and not to say you can't be angry, not to say you can't have emotions, but when there's things that you can't let go of or forgive, that is emanated out. People feel it and it ripples, and then they feel it, and then they end up taking on, a lot of people take it on unconsciously. Yeah, man, you're so right. It is. It's very, very difficult to work on the intrusive thoughts you have, to work on the what's the word, the temptations. It's so easy to be negative, because why do you think it is? Because we've been conditioned and programmed to be that way. So it's easier because you're used to it. It's harder to change that part of you and to open your heart, because the programming conditioning we've had, so much of it. So yes, it is. It's very difficult to change a habit, but we have to do it. Yeah, it does. I agree. I agree. It's taken me a lot to get to the place I'm at. I've had many of those, to say the least. Many of those. And yet, every time you do, you're humbled even more. And that's exactly what I mean by what happened this past week. Can we still find it in our hearts to love one another, to come together? Yeah. Let me tell you what, man, I'm never going to give up, man. I'm never going to give up, man. I came here for a purpose and a reason, and I love humanity. I have such a love for humanity and for this planet. And man, I just want to see everybody like move beyond suffering, to find peace like I've found peace. Not to say that I don't have things going on, man. I'm not going to sit here and say I've like, I'm fully 1000% enlightened. I'm working on getting there, that's for sure. But like, the more and more you let go of, the more and more you release, the lighter you become. And then you don't feel those different things like anxiety all the time, and depression, and these different things that they've, you know, identified everyone with. You just can sit in nature and just be at peace, regardless of what's happening. Not to say you you don't have feelings, not to say you don't have emotions towards what's going on. No one's ever saying that. But you got to find the peace within you. Then it ripples and radiates out. Yeah, that's the part. Yes. Of course it's confusing, but every single person is on their own path and their own journey and has their own reason for being here. And every single person is at a different level of consciousness. I hate saying levels, but it's the truth. We're at different stages and phases in our evolution. Some souls have never been here before. Some have been here thousands of times. Some are old souls. Some are new souls. Some chose not to wake up. Some chose to wake up. But this place, man, is all like perfectly designed, man. The creator has designed it so perfectly, that nothing is a mistake. Nothing is an accident. Everything has a purpose, a reason, and for why it's happening or what the reason it happened. And let me tell you, man, the one thing that I can be certain of is comfortability and complacency. And that is, I think, the root of all suffering. I've analyzed this a lot within my own life and with other people's lives. And no matter if you're suffering or not, if whatever you're in is comfortable, then you're going to stay in it until you're forced not to any longer through some sort of catalyst. You know, not everybody, of course, because some will push through regardless of the comfortability or complacency that they're in. But I think everyone has difficulty and challenges with change. So, in order for the majority to move forward, then these things like catalysts have to occur to push things along, or we'd never evolve. We would never go through the ascension process. We would never awaken. We would just stay where we are. Oh, I'm living in this house for 100 years and or 200 years or 300 years or um like there would be no evolution. It would just be everybody would just stay like I'll just chill on the couch and play video games for the rest of my life. I'll just, like that's just an example. Great. Why most people are scared of, yeah, 100%, man. 1000%. That's the problem. And that is the biggest reason why this has to happen, why these things happen, so we can keep moving forward, you know so things can continue to move forward. But here is trying to, yeah, but I mean, I yes and no, a lot of that's an illusion too. Hey Robert, what's going on, man? That's what they want you to do, man. They want you to Yeah, man. It's real. That's what they want you to do. They want you to focus your attention on that. See, the more they can get you, the more they can get you to, hey, doctor, sleep, the more they can get you to focus your attention on these tragic things that are occurring, the more that because here's the thing, man, consciousness is really powerful, and a lot of people still don't realize how you are creating things through your consciousness. So if we can get if attention is very valuable, and the more they can get you to focus your attention on these different things that are happening, even if it's not happening to you personally, then you can create these things in your own life, and then it equates to lower frequency and lower vibration, which equates to fear, which then equates to control. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, you have to you have to keep smiling, man. There's a lot of it out there right now, and um it's trying to um yeah, you've got to disconnect from it, or it will grab a hold of you, man. And thank you, Robert. I appreciate that, man. The thing is, we've been I was actually getting these downloads, I would say, when I was much younger.
Earphones. You want it?
No, no,
Hmm?
no, I don't. You can't use them
Why?
because I don't have that kind of connector. Um, you cannot. So when a lot of us were young, what do you think that we were gravitating towards? You had friends that would say, "Oh, school sucks. I don't want to go to school. I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna rob." Like all the things related to that. You didn't have your friends didn't tell you, "I want to go to school." Um, Striving to get a 4.0 average. Um, I love school. I love my teacher. You didn't hear those words. You heard school sucks. You heard people, you know, throwing things at the teacher when the teacher turned their back. You know, getting in trouble, all those kinds of things instead of like you didn't hear your friends. I mean, at least I didn't. I don't know about any of you, but I know I didn't have friends that spoke positivity, is what I'm trying to say. So a lot of us grew up at a younger age around a lot of negativity, being bullied and all kinds of stuff. And it was far from positivity at school. And so, what do you think that equated to? It just grew and grew and grew as you got older. And that's majority of probably society. So, it's easier for us because of the way we were programmed and conditioned and grew up, to like say, Like, for example, another example, when you were a kid, you probably didn't have friends that lifted you up. They tore you down. And then if you talk about, oh, I'm doing so good in school, I'm getting 4.0 average and blah, blah, blah. And you didn't have them lifting you up. They were jealous. They were, like, oh, kind of like you're boasting about it. You're like not, so it wasn't like a supportive. Maybe some people did, but majority I don't think did, because that's why I feel like there's so much negativity in the world as it is. And in my generation anyway, and the generation before mine, and people can't trust other people, and um, oh yeah, 100%. Not only conditioned by that, but they're conditioned by the mainstream outlets, that the social media, I mean, we didn't have that in my day until like later on. We didn't start having it till I probably was in my 20s, maybe. We had where we had MySpace and things of that sort. But yes, 100%. And even now, they try to program you on these stations. Look at a lot of the TV shows. I don't even watch TV really, but look at a lot of the TV shows. They're reality TV shows where people are arguing and fighting, drinking a lot of alcohol, just hurting other people through words. you know it's like very seldom that you actually find people that want to see you win, because they're jealous of what you have and what you've achieved. So, and they want that, so they try to tear you down. Because what is the one thing that I heard this when I was growing up: misery loves company. So if you're doing well and you're thriving, and your friend sees it and is jealous, what are they going to do? They're going to try to tear you down so that you can join them in their misery, you know? And a lot of people don't want to do the mental work. They allow their mind to control them instead of them controlling their mind. You have to, like, as we go forward into the fifth dimension and the fourth dimension, man, you really have to be in control of your mind and your thoughts. And yes, there's intrusive thoughts. Yes, there's dark entities trying to infiltrate your thoughts. Yes, it is a real thing. And yet you have to combat it with the light, with laughter, with smiles, with, positivity. And you have to keep reinforcing it. It's not something that, again, the whole collective is going through it, because we're all one and we're all connected. You're not separate from someone else. Okay. So if the collective is going through it, you're going to go through it to some extent. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Exactly. Like someone said the other day, man, it's really interesting. I watched this 21-year-old stream on Twitch, and he has YouTube and all these things. He's got a pretty big following. And the one thing he said, which was interesting, because he was actually living in a U-Haul on one of his lives for a long time, for at least a couple weeks or a month or more. And he made a comment, I think it was yesterday or something like that, on one of his lives. He said, man, you know what? Be homeless for like a month and see how comfortable in the uncomfortable you become, you know? And hence why a lot of people, they choose to sell everything and move into their car and live in car life or van life, or all these different things that society has taught us. Well, have a white picket fence, and you need to, like, have a family and this and that, the conventional stuff, because it's comfortable. It has been comfortable. What about taking hold of self-control, not confronting, not conforming to, yeah, I mean, I've been doing that my entire life, man. Like, how many times I've heard from women when I was dating, like, oh man, you're living with your mother, your parents, like, and they would deem that like you're some sort of L, because of that or whatever. Like you have to move out at a certain time when you have to have this 9 to 5. You have to do, like, why do you have to do, like, me personally, I've always walked the path less traveled, always. And I don't care what anybody says or thinks. I don't anymore. I've gotten to the point where you cannot care what anybody thinks. How you look, how you move in the world, it's your life you're living. They're not living it for you. You got to you got to not worry about what anybody thinks, because the more and more you move forward, man, the more criticism and judgment you'll receive, especially if you put yourself out there, which most of us were meant to do. But a lot of people are too afraid to, because they're afraid of the judgments. What do you want me to explain, Dr. Sleep? I'm not sure what you're asking. Some people truly are controlled by demons, and you'll never see them have control. Yes, but a lot of people, here's the thing, man. A lot of people, as to why they don't choose the path less traveled, because um, it's easier for them to be told what to do. And I hate being told what to do. Like, I do not like it whatsoever. I don't like no boss, no manager telling me what to do. I don't even like anybody telling me what to do. My parents, like, anybody. When my dad was alive, I got in a lot of arguments with him because I didn't like people telling me what to do. I'm just, that's just me. Not having a moderator. I don't understand some of your guys' questions, but imagine not having a moderator where? You mean on the channel? I've been on here without having moderators plenty of times, if that's what you mean. And trust me, there has been gaslighting and rude and not nice comments. I mean, believe me, the amount of time I've been going live and doing social media has been years, and I'm very used to, um, you know, I don't care. It doesn't phase me. Yeah, I'm glad you broke the cycle too, Scar. Um, a lot of people just think it's much easier to, yeah, Robert's a mod. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Robert. Right on. We don't. Um, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's what I do. I don't. The majority eats meat. The majority goes along with what's these new trends, like, that they put out, like with foods like Takis and the trends of like Taco Bell and all these different things. I don't eat any of that stuff. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat meat. I don't work a 9 to 5. Um, I walk the path less traveled, and I always have, no matter how difficult or challenging it is, and it has been very challenging. And and yet, like I said, most people, they want to be told what to do. They want to have someone tell them. I don't do that. I figured out myself. I've had so many things happen physically that I have not gone the medical route. I've done it on my own. And not on my own, with God, of course, and my guides and angels, of course. Um, but I haven't done it where I'm resisting the reason that I'm actually going through what I'm going through, for a reason, for most likely leveling up, or most likely the next phase or stage in your life, as to why you're going through what you're going through. But a lot of people, they run and they want the answers from a guy in a white coat or a woman in a white coat, or they just want the answers. And a lot of times you're not going to get it. A lot of times you have to just go through it, and to get stronger, to level up. A lot of times we don't even know why we're doing certain things that we're doing that are leading us to something or somewhere, you know? I have to keep track of the time, guys, because at 11 o'clock Eastern, I have to go. I have a chanting um, group I'm going to be joining to do chanting. Yeah, well, yeah, the company, it's funny you call it that. Yeah, exactly, Robert. 1000%, man. The company wants you to basically, yeah, be dumbed down. Basically, like they just want to be able to feed you the information and you listen and you follow it. And the ones that don't, yeah, the ones that don't are, you know, going against the grain, so to speak, or against the current. Yeah, yeah, obedience. Yeah, it's another good word for it. Yeah, basically give your power away instead of taking your power back. And it's time that humanity wakes up and gives and takes their power back. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying by like, oh yeah, you just collect a paycheck, you go to your 9 to 5, you come home, you eat dinner, you eat the foods that they give you that they're putting stuff in that's doing stuff to you, not for you. Yeah, yeah, most definitely, man. It's happening finally, man, and it can't be stopped. That's another energy. Thank you, man, for joining the live and giving your opinion. Appreciate it. Welcome everybody, man. Tap the like button and subscribe to the channel, y'all. That's good, Scar. I like that. Yeah, and you can have that if you want. You know what I mean? You just have to break free of what, beliefs and conditions and programs that they've established, you know? Yeah, Randall, have a good day, man. I appreciate you. I still got love for you, man, regardless. So, Really? Wow, man. So you do off gridding, Scar? Me and Luna are looking for a lot of acres, man, where we can build the newer school and build like communities on, man. One day I hope that someone donates, or just land is just not deemed you own it. It's like everyone's. Oh wow, man, that's so awesome. Wow. Well, no wonder why you think the way you do, man. I respect that. I respect that a lot, man. Um, it definitely takes a lot of mental strength and discipline and all of that to live a lifestyle like that. Because keep in mind, they've created the problem, so then they create the solution. So it's like get you disconnected from nature, get you to need water, to need the grocery stores, to need the AC and the heat, to need these things instead of being in tune and in touch with nature. They don't teach you in school how to grow vegetables. They don't teach you how to live off the land. They teach you how to be um, um, what's the word reliant on these systems. So then when these systems get shut down or shut off, what happens? You freak out, you're in fear. Like you're in fear, like I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. But like if we were living off nature and growing, food is abundant, water is abundant, all of it is abundant, we wouldn't have any of those fears. You know, get you scared of the animal kingdom, get you scared of bugs, and get you pretty much in every form, shape possible of fear, which is a lower frequency and vibration, which then they can control you. Because I talked about this yesterday. When you're in fear, you're limited in your options available to you. And when you're in love, the love vibration, you have all kinds of possibilities available to you. There's no limits as to what you have available. Well, it's not for everyone because they've created a problem, and the problem they've created is making you reliant on electricity and water and AC and heat. Like when I lived in Florida, it's like okay, so then they manipulate the conditions, like oh, they make it really hot or they make it really cold, right? So then you're reliant on the heat because it's like it's so freaking hot there, which I did at the time, but now I love the heat, and I've gotten much more into nature in the state that I live currently now, North Carolina. But every person that lives there, they don't stay outside. They run into the AC. They run from AC to AC, and Wim Hof was a really good explainer of this. If you never have heard of Wim Hof, get his books, man. That dude talks about the comfortability of AC and the comfortability of heat. And you see him braving the conditions out in the middle of like one of the coldest uh, countries in Europe, wearing basically nothing, just about, and doing ice cold plunges and all that stuff. Most of society won't do that. Most of society wouldn't take an ice cold shower. Most of society wouldn't fast because they think it's dangerous. There's all these different things that we've been taught to get us. So that's where I always talk about that they've created the problem and then they create the solution for you. But the solution requires them controlling you. Yes, yes. Exactly, but the thing of it is like in when you live in Florida, one of the hottest places, I'm sure there's hotter places than even that. Um, you just run from AC to AC, you know? And then but I've experienced with conditions with no AC for weeks upon weeks in the depths of summer there, you know? I've gone through hurricanes, I've gone through all these different conditions that have made me who I am today. Um, and I feel like a lot of the things that have been done make for us to be weak minded, and like I said, go to fear and be controlled and be you know manipulated. And Dependent. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But that's changing. Like big time changing. Because as I said, people are waking up, man. Happy birthday, JD. Well, please subscribe to the channel if you're new and tap the like button. I would greatly, me and Luna would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. And they want us to need them. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, man. Why aren't we taught these things in schools, man? People know this stuff. Why aren't the kids taught how to make a fire or how to grow vegetables or fruits? Why aren't they taught all these things? But they're not. We're taught like things we never are going to use. The most ridiculous things to get you away from those things. And you'll never use. I mean, if I did a survey on here as to how many people have used the things they learned as a kid in school, I guarantee every single person that came in here would say, no, no, I haven't used any of it. You started learning different ways to make a fire. Most people can't. Yeah, true, Dr. Sleep. Good for you, man. And you know what? Now it's time for you guys to teach others. Start a YouTube account and start showing and teaching people how to, like Scar. If you don't already have a YouTube channel, man, start a YouTube channel. Start teaching people how to live off grid. Start filming yourself doing these different things that could actually help people, you know, and instead of like everyone wanting money for what they teach, instead of that we help everybody, start teaching people how to, how many people want to live off grid but they don't know how to do it and they don't even know how to start, and you have all this knowledge. That's what we need to do, man. Come together and start helping one another, man, so that more and more people can have the knowledge and the wisdom. And again, we were taught so limited, and we were taught in a way that, um, and so many of you that come on this channel, man, have so much wisdom to share, and that you could help so many people. And I mean, scarred your whole life living off grid, man. I can only imagine the knowledge and wisdom that you have that you could share and that you could do videos of helping people. Yeah, but you know what? You could reach a lot of people on YouTube, man. And let me tell you something, man. Trust and believe people would watch your channel, and people would watch it, and people would comment, and you would get, I mean, bro, you would explode on YouTube. Yeah, that's the truth. Wow. I've heard that analogy before, Robert, and that is so damn spot on, man. That's what they want you to do, to bicker and fight over these things. Like they create a problem and then they create the solution and you bicker and fight, not realizing you can actually be at that table, you know? But to actually think that, oh no, I have to work this 9 to 5, I have to do this. Like, no, I don't know how things are gonna change. I don't, it's all, and then it, putting these things like flat earth and round earth into the equation where people are arguing and fighting over that, instead of like coming together and uniting, they're arguing over the earth is flat or the earth is round, or no, my team is going to win the Super Bowl. You know, like all these stupid things that are meaningless, that get you to fight and argue over. Yeah, I definitely do. Well, you should, man. Get it going, Scar. Hell yeah. I'll subscribe. I bet you half the people on that are subscribed here would subscribe to your channel, if not all of them. Get it going, man, and I'll share it out, man. Record your first video, man. Teaching someone how to make a fire. There you go. Because winter's coming. Perfect timing. Teach someone how to make a fire. Do a survival video on how to make a fire, and yeah, man. And then I'll definitely pin your YouTube channel and people to subscribe. Hell yeah. Um, Power in numbers, my friends. Power in numbers. Okay, but I have to get going. Um, well, right now I'm in Appalachia, so I'd be cool to do a video here in the winter. Yeah, man. But don't even do that, man. Just start anything. Start posting videos, man. You can give tips in shorts. You could, you know, whatever, man. Just start creating content, man, because start giving tips out like in shorts, little tips here and there, little, videos, short videos, get people really interested. Talk about your journey of living off grid, all that stuff, man. You don't have to just do that. There's so much knowledge that you have that is waiting. There's no accident you came on here this morning, man. There's no accident. You're meant to be doing that. And you're meant to be sharing to the world, man, like not keeping it to yourself, but giving it away. Especially right now. Especially as people are waking up and realizing, what are they doing? Why am I at this job? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Like, this doesn't resonate with me any longer. I want to live off grid, but I don't know how to do it. I remember you told me about the guitar things your daughter uses. I don't know. Maybe I did. I'm not quite sure. And let me tell you something, man. It's going to be rewarding, and it's going to fill your heart. And yeah, please do, man. Please do. And send me a link to your first video, because I'm going to be watching and I'm going to be a supporter. You best believe that. So with that being said, everybody, I have to get going because I have to join this chanting live that I'm about to join. So thank you, everybody, for your support and for joining and for this beautiful conversation, man. Keep your head up, man, and keep smiling. Keep smiling, keep shining your light bright, because that's how we're going to change the dark into light. We have to, man. We have to, with what is going on in the world, man. We have to be a light and shine our lights bright, man. So I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Take care of yourselves and each other. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. And I'll see you in the next live, on the next video, or somewhere around the world, man. Until then, let's go. We got this, man. We're warriors of light, man. We got this. Just keep your head up, man, and keep shining your light bright. I love you all, man, from the bottom of my heart, man. I mean that. And we're on our way up to the top. And we're going to get our messages out to the world. And we're going to change the world with love. With love. Like this says, man. With love, we're going to change the world, man. We will. So I'll see you in the next video, man. Take care. Maybe I'll be live later today. We'll see. I got a couple things going on today, though, so I'll have to see about that. But you're seeing me back at it, man. I'm putting shorts out. I'm putting videos out. I'm back at it. The lives are coming. Different things are going to happen on this channel that you guys are going to love, man. We're going to be doing a lot of vlogs and VODs. I got a lot of things that have been shown to me that I need to bring to you all, more authenticity and other things. So stay tuned, man. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share this channel out. I love you all, man. And Scar, get to it, man. Get to it, brother. I want to see you on the next live telling me you already recorded videos. All right, man. I'll see you soon. Love you all, man. Subscribe, like, comment, share.